Kwe kakina, pijashig ondaje omamawenini Anishinaabe waki. This is our 2020 Pikwakanagan Virtual Remembrance Day Ceremony. This year is a little different, but no less important, as we take this time to honor the Omamawenini Ogichita from Pikwakanagan and all veterans throughout Canada. At this time, we would like to ask our elder, Amy Bailey, to provide us with an opening prayer.
Bonjour, Mishomas. Bonjour, Nokomis. Bonjour, Gijimanado, and the grandmother who sits beside you. Jashko Benezi Kwe Indijnakas, Nume Indodem, Mamawi Tanakawan Indujaban, Medewean Mamawi Anishinaabe Kwendao. Thank you, Creator, for this opportunity to gather today with our ancestors and all our relations to remind them that we remember you. We appreciate all of the risks that you took in serving our country and our people, and we appreciate especially those of you whose lives were sacrificed in these different events of war throughout the world. We hope that your spirits can find your way back here to your home and family, and from way across the oceans, and that you will feel some comfort in knowing that we remember you, and we know that we can never understand the full experience that you have gone through, but we still hope to comfort you in some ways for you knowing that we remember you. Miigwech, 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 miigwech.
Miigwech, I would now like to invite the Chief of Pikwakanagan and veteran Wendy Jocko to provide a few words.
Pajashik, Kakina, Tinizieg, Nongom. Welcome, bienvenue to everyone here today. On behalf of the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation, welcome. Veterans, elders, youth, children, friends, and guests to our virtual ceremony of remembrance. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our friends from 2 Service Battalion Maintenance Company at Garrison Petawawa, Endeshe, Kinamandawa, Chimaganashuk, training ground of the warriors, who have provided our community with a contingent of soldiers for our Remembrance Day ceremonies since 1999. We appreciate their continued support. We look forward to a time when the soldiers may visit us again in the future, when physical distancing is not an issue due to COVID-19. On this Remembrance Day, Pikwakanagan pauses, along with the rest of Canada, to honor the men and women who have served and continue to serve Canada during times of war, conflict, and peace. More than 2,300,000 Canadians have served, and more than 118,000 made the ultimate sacrifice. As a child, I recall we used to refer to this day as Poppy Day. The poppy is the symbol of Remembrance Day. The reason that the poppy is worn for Remembrance Day is due to a Canadian physician and poet who noticed how quickly poppies had grown over the graves of soldiers who had died during the Battle of Ypres. This symbolism of the blood-red flowers was beautifully captured by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae in his 1915 poem, In Flanders Field. November the 11th marks the signing of the Armistice peace agreement between the Allies and Germany at Compiègne, France. The armistice took effect at 11 o'clock in the morning, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Canada has declared November the 11th the date of remembrance for the men and women who have served and continue to serve our country during times of war, conflict, and peace, particularly the First and Second World Wars, the Korean War, and all conflicts since then in which members of the Canadian Armed Forces have participated. During the First World War, 1914 to 1918, and the Second World War, 1939 to 1945, thousands of Aboriginal men and women voluntarily enlisted in Canadians' armed forces. They served in units with other Canadians and in every theatre in which Canadian forces took part. More than 500 status-elite servicemen lost their lives on foreign battlefields during the World Wars, and the number of casualties, including those injured, was much higher. Their notable contributions of the war effort became a source of inspiration and self-confidence to themselves, to their communities, and to the Canadians in general. All but 3 eligible men from the Algonquins of Pikwakanagan First Nation band enlisted. First Nation peoples were the first warriors, the first Shimanganish. Our ancestors fought in conflicts in the 1600s, the 7 Years' War, the War Against the Big Knives, the Nile River Expedition, the Boer War, World War I, and World War II, the Korean War, the Cyprus War, and many of the other recent and current conflicts that are in the news today. The Algonquins and the other First Nations fought as allies and not as subjects. We were fighting to protect our allies, our people, and our lands. Many Algonquins shed their blood in doing so. You will notice that I stand by the Veterans Eagle Staff. In 1997, veterans of the time first recognized the need for a Veterans Eagle Staff. The story of Pikwakanagan's Eagle Staff is a beautiful one that depicts the Creator's influence in its design. All of the people that worked on its conception and design, not one of them envisioned the magnificent spectacle that it is today. The elements of the Eagle Staff have important meaning. The feathers that make up the flag portion of the staff represent an eagle's wing. This wing protects all veterans represented by the eagle feathers. As quoted by one of our elders during one of our ceremonies, eagles fly so high that they take our prayers to the Creator. The Creator gave the eagle a job to do, to check over our people below, to make sure that they are still doing the things that I have asked them to do. The elements that hold the feathers is the medicine wheel colors of the 4 directions. The eagle staff holds a smaller white feather. This feather is for the Creator. The red banner is the veteran's color. The white trim signifies purity. The staff and the base are of natural origin from a tree harvested from within our own territory and in collaboration with 2 Service Battalion Maintenance Company. The staff represents memories of all veterans here and gone. It signifies the spirit and the pride of the people. It is a salute to the Creator by the families of the communities who are representing their family warriors on their behalf. I thank you very much for being here virtually and for remembering those who have passed on in defense of our country, lands, rights, and freedoms.
I would like to introduce Major Bazinet, Commanding Officer of 2 Service Battalion Maintenance Company.
Thank you for inviting us to be part of your Remembrance Day ceremonies. I'm Major Alexandre Bazinet, Officer Commanding Maintenance Company, 2 Service Bank. This is my Company Sergeant Major, Pastoral Officer Wendell Hayden. Remembrance Day is about honoring the memory of all the military personnel who came before us. It is thanks to their heroism and selflessness that we live in a strong democratic country that guarantees our rights and freedoms. This year, we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the end of the Second World War by paying homage to those valiant Canadians who fought and fell to defend the freedom and prosperity of our allies so far from our shores. In wartime, young Canadians leave their families, friends, communities, and our country for months and even years at a time to fight for freedom and for peace. They do so despite the very real threat of never coming home again.
During the Second World War, more than 1 million young Canadians put on the uniform of the Army, Navy, or Air Force and prepared to fight the enemy. Picture yourself walking for hours, carrying a heavy backpack, drenched in rain, covered in snow, or sweating through extreme heat. You haven't bathed in weeks or eaten a meal that didn't come out of a can. You dig a hole in the ground to catch a few hours sleep, often interrupted by a duty watch, artillery bombardment, or enemy attack. You are a Canadian soldier. You're one of 1 million Canadians who wonder whether you'll ever see home again, whether you'll ever kiss your mother, or hug your father again, or whether you'll ever grow old. 45,000 Canadians didn't get the chance to do those things. They never returned home from the Second World War.
We also pay tribute on Remembrance Day to veterans of the Korean and Afghanistan wars. More than 500 Canadians lost their lives in Korea, and 158 Canadian Armed Forces members did not come back from Afghanistan. Many who did return carried the consequences of war with them. Haunting memories of their wartime experiences left many survivors with long-term psychological, emotional, and physical wounds. Undeterred by the horrors of conflict and war, generations of Canada's bravest and best have risked their lives for our freedom. They were determined to keep Canadians from harm, to defend our way of life, and to try to make the world a better place. That's something we must never forget. It's important that we recognize Canadian veterans for their unimaginable heroism and great sacrifices. Of course, military operations are not confined to foreign soil, nor are they limited to the past.
Today, Canadian Armed Forces members continue to risk their own health and safety to protect others. While many continue to be deployed overseas on United Nations and NATO missions, others serve here at home. Some respond to natural disasters. Canadian Armed Forces personnel have dealt with devastating floods and forest fires, massive snowstorms across the country in recent years. Others have put their medical training to work helping to fight a pandemic. Still others carry out life-saving search and rescue missions by air and sea. The Canadian Armed Forces responds to approximately 1,000 search and rescue calls each year, whatever and wherever they need. Canadians can count on us to keep them safe, just as our veterans do.
Steadfast service to our country is the common link that ties today's military members to those who have come before us. Because we're all part of the Canadian family, we're all in this together. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.
Miigwech.
Nevaeh Sarzan, a youth from Pikwakanagan, will now read In Flanders Fields.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly. Scarce heard amid the guns below, we are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep, the poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Kevin Lamar of Pikwakanagan will now read the Algonquin Cenotaph.
Mnada danamik, Algonquin, Anishinabek ga Ijaad, Kanadawi, Migazawad minwa, Bikatawad, in honor of the Algonquin people who served Canada in war and peace.
Ogama and veteran Wendy Jocko will now recite the Act of Remembrance.
Kida, Magikik Teyesh, Ishkozeyong, Tush, Kiji, Apitazing, Khan, Kita, Kawitimozig, Onge, Apitizawin, Ashij, Endaso Paponakuk, Kiji, Pagade Namong, Apish, Epangishimo Kizis, Ashij, Kigishe, Bawaguk, Kiga, Mamidone, Nimagong, Kiga, Mamidone, Nimagom. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.
The commitment to remember will now be shared in Algonquin and English by Keisha Tuwax McMullen, a youth from Pikwakanagan.
Winawa Oshkinawij, Nasab Niawin Oshkinaweg, Oge on Damitan, Winawa Tibinawe, Onge Minawa, Kakina Kego, Onje Winawa, Wawi Damaj, Apij, Kije, Minopidasing, Pimiwadon, Owasawagan, Ashej, Ka, Wikad, Wanike, Kiga Mame Done Nimigum, Kiga Mame Done Nimigum. They were young as we are young. They served, giving freely of themselves. To them we pledge, amid the winds of time, to carry their torch and never forget. We will remember them.
Elder Amy Bailey will lay a wreath to honor and commemorate all Omamawinini Ogichita from Pikwakanagan and all veterans throughout Turtle Island, which will be followed by the last post, 2 minutes of silence, and a veteran song.